Right, this is the new Vanguard Equalizer 1 bipod. I've decided to have a look at this today, have a look at the pros and cons for using this over other bipods. Okay, the bipod itself has a similar adjustment range to the standard Harris, has 9.5 to 13 inches of adjustment for elevation. But the thing I like about this bipod is the fact that when you want to track quarry, you can actually move left and right. It allows 30 degrees either side of the center point for panning function, which is very useful. It means that if you're tracking a running rabbit or a magpie or any other kind of vermin that won't stop still, you can actually pan the bipod and it leaves the legs stress free and allows the recoil to act in a natural way. The legs are adjusted here through these knurled adjustment screws. You turn these, slide the legs out to an infinite position, lock the screws back up, and then it's adjusted. Okay, so nice solid locking screws. This is another little nifty function. You can either have the rubber round feet that you see now, or you can screw these in to reveal spikes on either side, and the amount of protrusion you can control through the screwing action, how far you screw them in, and you can have them protruding all the way out. So if you're shooting on soil, grassy kind of ground, when you want the spikes to dig in and give you a little bit of grip to preload the bipod, and screw these right in, and then you have the spiky feet which will then stick in the ground. One of the little niggles that I have with this bipod is the fact that when you tilt the bipod to get rid of any cant, it automatically returns under the buffer spring load to the central point upright. Okay, as you can see, it springs back to the middle, which means that if you're on an uneven surface and you can't adjust it with the legs in time, then when you actually roll the gun over to level the reticle, you're putting a little bit of tension on the setup, which could potentially affect the shot. If it was only a small amount, it wouldn't. Releasing the bipod's quite straightforward. It's just a lock-in on the bottom here. Drops down. The next nut to the bottom, and then exposes this little screw in there, which actually just locks into the other side of the bipod stud. It's kind of U-clamp sort of thing. That comes out. You can normally use your fingers for that. That releases and it drops off. can see the mechanism system here. It's like a U-clamp in there. The bolt goes through the bipod stud and it has a thread on the other side which locates into this side of the U-clamp. So it goes through there. As you can see, screws into that part there, locks in a bit like the Versapod system. It's not the quickest to put on and off, but it's so lightweight I don't find I have to remove it. Obviously to reinstall is just the opposite. As I say, it's a little bit fiddly, but once on, case of getting the bolt lined up on the other side. Wasn't quite lined up there. That's it. Fitted. First nut locks the bipod up against the bottom of the stock. Pulls in firmly there. Second nut is the locking nut. That's there. And the bipod's fitted. It's very secure. It's a lovely snug fit to the bottom of the stock. It's got a rubber patch on there so that you don't damage the underside of your stock, and it also gives it more grip so you can pan around and it's not going to slip on the bottom of the fore end.